What's up guys, a very good morning and hope you all had a fantastic weekend. In today's market outlook, of course, the dollar index and the major dollar pairs including gold. So with that said, let's dive straight in. So starting off with the dollar index has been ranging for all of last week. We can pretty much see that we're stuck inside of this box and we're waiting to break out. So what is favorable pretty much about the entire range is that we have broken pretty much all the lows, but we are still yet to break this high, because if you were to, let's say, mark out this range, you would say, okay, this is your range high, this is your range low. We've now taken the range low and now we are ready to take out that range high and move in towards that area of supply before either heading down or up. So that's pretty much for me what I'm looking for. We could of course still head down one time lower, forward tap in towards, for example, tap in towards this area of demand, from there push up higher in towards supply, or of course then dump down lower in towards this area of demand. But it's pretty much just dependent on how we get into here. I'm not saying of course, okay, we can move up and we can move down. What I'm saying is that wait for price to get into your region of interest and then anticipate on what your next move is going to be. So if we move in towards here, then I'll anticipate on the fact, okay, can we see a lower time frame trend switch and then, for example, see a push up higher in towards that supply zone? Are we going to push up higher from here? Okay, then we just wait for this area of supply to get hit and then we look, okay, are we going to see that lower time frame trend switch, or are we not going to see it and move up higher? Or once we come into here, for example, we just push down lower and grab liquidity. All of these things are possible, but what I am mainly waiting for is for this supply zone to get hit. Plan B, if we move in towards the downside, we wait for this demand zone and we wait for the reaction to take place. So that is the dollar index. Let's head over to Aussie dollar. So Aussie dollar, guys, Aussie dollar, of course, for the downside is expected. Looking at this from a daily perspective, daily is bullish. I've explained this multiple times now, but full focus lies on the 4 hour, because on the 4 hour we can clearly see pretty much the structure being bearish very clearly. So we're just now waiting for that next leg downwards to take out the liquidity that lies below this low. It's very clear we have the equal lows here. This low filled to take out this low, so now just waiting for the lows to get hit and for liquidity to get grabbed. So moving in towards the 15 minute, because that's of course where the entry possibilities are going to come. The 15 minute is bearish. We swipe liquidity over here on, I think it was Friday or Thursday evening. We swept liquidity over here and have been pushing towards the downside. Since then, of course, we are waiting for those potential new shorts to take place. Pretty much structure wise, this was your swing low, so now this was your internal low. Then again, internal low broke, so got that push down, pull back, push down, pull back, again grabbing liquidity, but this is now pretty much your high on the internal structure and this is your low. So if price now can pull back in towards here, potentially see a reaction on the 1 or 5 minute, then look for a potential short further in towards the downside. Just kind of follow the supply chain, and supply is pushing us further down, so let's wait for that to happen. Once again, we have an overall range here on the 15 minute time frame on Aussie dollar. If we draw in our range trading tool, we can clearly see that, okay guys, once again we have swept liquidity at the top of the range. Low of the range is still completely open and ready to get striked or to get taken out, whatever you want to call it. So yeah guys, that is what I'm waiting for. Once again, 25% mark acting beautifully as your area of support. So moving on in towards euro dollar, because euro dollar is of course our favorite pair. Euro dollar looks good to push up higher. Overall, from an internal structure perspective, we are bullish. What I'm waiting for is either for us to create a new high, then for example to start pushing down, or we still have this fresh area of demand open. So if we still start trickling down, then I'll start looking for that potential long play on the 15 minute. So moving in towards the 15 minute time frame for now, what can we look for? Well, 15 minute is still bullish from this swing low all the way in towards this swing high, and we still have a ton of liquidity open down below over here, but we have already seen a 50% pullback. If I just quickly draw in the premium versus discount tool from this low in towards this high, and we can see that we've already made a pullback in towards the 50% mark, so we don't really need to pull back that far. So from here we could just start moving up higher, but personally from my personal perspective, this is just kind of like consolidation and we're waiting to break out, so pretty much anything can happen inside this range. So for now, just wait, but it does look good to start pushing up higher soon, because all the structure is kind of like pointing in that direction with the bullish 4 hour, the bullish 4 hour change of character, internal a 15-minute swing bullish. So I am looking for further upside to potentially start moving in towards this zone, for example, before, let's say, looking for further downside. So yeah, let's just keep our eyes open. 4 hour, you guys know what I'm waiting for. If we do see a pullback, then we will wait for this area over here to get hit, which is right below this area of liquidation. This is 4 hour liquidity. If we move in towards the 1 hour, you'll clearly see once again that this is a very beautiful swing low, which we can start taking out with this 1 hour area of demand located over here. So that is it for your dollar, guys. Moving on in towards pound dollar, because pound dollar is also quite interesting looking at it from a daily perspective. Daily, of course, tapped in towards a strong area of demand. Now, daily is not very interesting from a change of character or character perspective in general. We do still have this fresh area of supply which we can hit. But if we look at it from a 4 hour perspective, the 4 hours, of course, bullish. We have tons and tons and tons of liquidity lying above these highs. We, of course, tapped in towards this demand zone, which I wanted to get hit last week with these equal lows and liquidation occurring over here. So now I would like to see pound dollar start pushing up higher. I'm focusing on the 1 hour over here, and what we can see from a 1 hour perspective is, of course, we are still bearish. So we broke this low after breaking this low. So overall structure is push down, pull back, push down. Everything in here is pull back, push down, pull back. So this is now your swing high. This is now your swing low. So of course we could start seeing pushes down. But if I look at this from a 4 hour structure perspective, 4 hours is pointing us in towards the upside, and we have a ton of liquidity above these highs. So I would be a massive fan to see these highs taken, and then, for example, take a short above those highs back in towards the downside, just grabbing all the liquidity from those highs. So but I mean, of course, supply flow is still bearish, so just keep that in mind when trading. I'm not saying it's going to just start rocketing up, but if we start seeing these supply zones fill, then I'm going to be looking to take out this high, and then of course play kind of like the pullback of 1 hour structure. And then potentially trade kind of like that 4 hour up higher in towards, for example, this area of 4 hour supply over here, which has not yet been taken out, pretty much in line with the overall 4 hour swing structure, and then potentially hold it on in towards that daily area of supply. Moving on in towards Kiwi dollar. So Kiwi dollar, guys, NZDUSD, waiting for lower prices, of course, pretty much as we said last week, expecting for the downside. For today, again, expecting for the downside to at least hit 0.58. That's what I'm waiting for. From a monthly perspective, it is also looking very bad for Kiwi dollar. So yeah, just waiting for that further downside movement to then trade a potential pullback. There is a reason why I have this blue line on. I just have to check why it was again. Not sure. I think it's on the 4 hour. Should be. Yeah, so it's the 4 hour. So from a 4 hour perspective, I would love to see that blue line get hit, then trade that potential 4 hour pullback and daily pullback, because the daily, of course, has seen a break of structure. So after daily break of structure, we expect a pullback, and then if we come in towards 4 hour demand, we can then see that pullback come into fruition. So that is that. And then gold, of course, last of all. So gold, of course, hit that 1993 mark of liquidity, which I pointed out last week on, I think, Friday. So yeah, we pulled back. So what I was waiting for pretty much is this demand zone. If we still hit it, then I will be looking for a buy on gold. That's pretty much what I'm looking for, take liquidity. But of course, with the geopolitical situation, we do not need to see that pullback, and the market will just continue to rally. I am still definitely expecting higher prices for gold. Most definitely. Also with what is going on in Lebanon, of course. Do your own research, of course. I'm just reading the headlines and taking that into consideration when trading. So yeah, look at that. Still expecting higher price for gold. If we pull back in towards here, then move up higher. But last week, again, I was also looking for this, but it didn't happen. Maybe today it will happen. If not, just look for kind of like a 15-minute structure play. And on the 15-minute, what you could, for example, do is, let's say this was your structural low, or let's focus on internal structure, for example. You get this push down, you get this pullback, you get this push down, you get a pullback, then you get a push down. So now wait until this high gets taken, then look for a pullback, and then, for example, just take an aggressive long. Do take into account that it is lower probability according to supply and demand strategies, but if you do pull back towards this 4 hour area of demand, then you have a higher probability play at hands. So yeah, guys, that was it for today. Thank you so much for joining in. Make sure to join the free Discord server, link in the description down below. I will be sharing crypto and FX signals for free. Take some value from there. If you have any questions, just let me know, and wish you all a fantastic day. Thanks, guys.